So, what is up, guys? I just watched episode 15 of DonBrothers, so I want to try to start reviewing these episodes every time I catch a sub when it is, and this is the most one that is sub so far. So, let's go over this. Apparently, as you all know, Taro came back in the last set, but he disappeared pretty instantly. And as you can tell, your points can go negative, which is actually pretty cool. And the fact that they made it more like if you're in the negative, actually bad things will start to happen to you more. So I thought that was like an interesting take on the point system. Then we're introduced to Kiji and Inu talking again. Inu's more like, "Oh, I found Natsumi," and Kiji's like, "Oh yeah, my wife is in the hospital, but we don't really talk about what she looks like because then Inu shows him a picture, and then of course it has a Snapchat filter on. Those things always get you for no apparent reason, but they talked about it, and like he's just saying, my wife gets out. It's like if only they were there at the same time. They're doing this bid for a while now, but the only funny thing is, still no one knows who Inu is yet, which is weird because he's actually taking the longest to figure out that he is actually the Black Dawn brother. And of course, you get introduced to Kiji. He has the Car Ranger gear in him, and it's making him focus on track for safety. Again, little hits there. So then we're introduced to Taro, my bad, Jiro again, and he's saying a lot of dragon stuff. So again, we got a lot of dragon puns coming in from our boy here. And he does actually turn in this episode. Last episode, he was more like a joke, and then he becomes real. So now he wants to protect the world in Taro's place, but he doesn't have his powers yet. And then things started to happen to them. Yellow became crippled, and Blue kind of lost the will to live because he can't haiku anymore. As you can tell, I even caught that. I'm like, oh, that's pretty sad. But that's why being the negative when using up your points, bad things will happen. And these are the things. It hurts your soul more in what you live by. A few things later, they're fighting Kiji, and then finally, Jiro felt the power of the system of the phone app, and the phone app gave him a nice spear and a change gear, and then he finally turned into Don Dora Goku. So a very fresh unit. Then he comes, they're in the shop after fighting Kiji, and then they're talking like he wants to start up a new team, y'all are pretty ass. But then, they talk to him, and then Yellow said something very interesting. You have to use your points. Now, about that, Kaido actually says he can't do that. He's not really a companion yet. So he hasn't really built anything to really bring Taro back. So I thought that was interesting. And then he said, if you even use any more of your points, who knows how far you could probably. I think if they use even like an excessive amount, they would probably like die. But I think handicap and I guess losing your soul for something that you're passionate about were the big things for negatives. Next, they fight Kiji. Senoi, one of the Celestials, has to slash Kiji for a little bit. And then Dora Goku, aka Jiro, tagged him. And then they got transported to this alternate world because they found out Taro never died. He was just in another dimension. So then they used that to their advantage to get to that dimension. And then they guided their nice purpley box and went and saved Momotaro, aka Taro, which is nice. And then they did a cool special at the end, Lightning Dragon Flash, a nice game ender right there. I got a little bit of the flash on that one. So I thought that was actually pretty fresh of them to start adding a new attack. And the next time right here, Senoi now doesn't feel like crap. He's ready to do his thing. So then you got Senoi here, so now he's kind of relieved. He's like, what I did was kind of shady as fuck. So then he's like, all right, I'm glad he's alive. Now I can just sell this the right way with honor. So it's like we got like a guy here who's just he's more of anti than anything. But again, you got the bestials, which Natsumi apparently could be a part of. So that's gonna be a little bit of a tongue twist right there. So that was nice to kind of see even Sonoi's character develop more. They didn't want to be a shady guy, but it's interesting to see that. And then at the end, everyone's like getting their spirits back, so that was good. And he told Oni's sister that you'll walk again, and then she got up and ran and gave him a nice Big hug. In the next episode, apparently he's supposed to act evil, but again, I'm waiting for that to get subbed before we review that one. But I just thought this was an interesting episode. We got introduced to Dora Goku, not 15 episodes in, which is good, because last time they introduced 2 Kaiser in like episode 9, so it was really quick. But we got the 6th Ranger a little bit later, just like we got the Don Onitaiji in a little bit later, which was good. So they kind of let the core fight team kind of have more fun being like actual Sentai Rangers before they got into their really big gadgets. So I just thought that was interesting, that the way the series is going. It's going really strong, honestly. I think this is definitely changing people's minds about Sentai, and I think this will definitely guarantee a new season. But they got to be able to keep the hype as much as this show is bringing, since Black Kaido is best Kaido, because he's very serious. It's amazing how he changes from this bumbling fool to like, wow, you can actually act pretty serious. You got to give you more of those roles. Because honestly, this is a good role for him. I like it. Alright, guys. That's all I can review for today. So we'll talk about more next time, next week's episode. We'll see what goes down, and we'll talk about it more. You can definitely shed your opinions on the matter of this episode as well. That's what we're here for. That's why it's a discussion. I just really appreciate it. Dora Goku looks good, so that is a positive as well. Very, very good looking 6th Ranger design. We haven't had one in a good while, besides 12 Kaiser, which it doesn't mean a while, but at least it's something. We're getting like good 6th Ranger designs. So we'll see how it plays out, but definitely looking pretty strong. Dora Goku, who wants to become a hero and apparently switches to evil in episode 16, which again I have to find out why he did it. Anyways, thanks for watching.